Hi, welcome to a new video session. Topic: capital budgeting, non-discounting method. Name of method is payback period. We have discussed in the previous session that capital budgeting is generally undertaken under two distinct methods: discounting methods and non-discounting methods. While discounting methods make use of time value of money and considers the current rate of interest prevailing in the market, non-discounting methods doesn't consider time value of money. These methods are pretty easy to use, but they are hardly used except for general investors. So let's start with payback period. What is payback period? How does it help taking a decision by the investors? How management uses it? How it is calculated? What are advantages and disadvantages? Let's see. The payback period is generally can be defined as the number of time periods, number of years which is required to get back the initial cash invested in a project. It is a non-discounting method because it doesn't make into consideration the opportunity cost of capital or the rate of return required. It simply looks to find out if you have invested $100,000 in a project, then how many years it would take to recover 100,000 from that project. So if suppose say the payback period is less than a maximum period which is a standard set by the management, then the project will be accepted. If the payback period is greater than the hurdle payback period, the hurdle time frame kept by the management, then the project will be rejected. Lower the payback period, better a project, and vice versa. But there is no general rule as such as to what is a payback period, because payback period can be compared to a reference period which has been set by the management. Let's estimate the project payback periods with a project which has equal cash flows, which means a project whose cash inflows are equal in every year. In that case, the payback period is cash outflow divided by cash inflow. For example, suppose this project A requires an outflow of 2,40,000 and it generates 50,000 each year for next 5 years. The management says if a payback period is less than 5 years, then it would accept it. Now, because every year the project generates a cash inflow of $50,000, let's calculate the payback period. 240,000 divided by 50,000, that's 4.8 years. So this project will take 4.8 years to recover the 240,000 invested. On the same time, you know that the management is looking forward to a project with a payback of less than 5 years. This means, as per the criteria set by the management, the payback period of 4.8 is less than 5. So this project can be accepted. If it is more than 5, then it should be rejected. So what happens if the payback periods are not? The project cash flows are not equal in every year. What means in year 1 the cash flow is something different, in year 2 the cash flow is something different. So how the payback period will be calculated in that scenario if project cash inflows are not equal in every year? See here, project X, the outflow is $1 million The inflows are 200,000, 250,000, 300,000, 450,000 and 500,000 in 5 years. Let's see how the things will be calculated. So we need to calculate the inflows and the cumulative inflows. Inflow is 200,000, cumulative for 1 year is 2, then 2 plus 250, 450, 450 and 3, 750, 750 and 450, 12, 12 and 5, 17,000, 1700,000. So payback period, you need to recover 1 million only. So we are clear that in year 3 we are not recovering $1 million. In year 4 we are recovering more than 1 million. So you can see we need a payback period here which is greater than 3 but less than 5. So that means 3 years full plus, to make it 1 million we need 1 million minus 750, that's 250 in 4th year, and in 4th year you are generating a cash flow of 450, so 250 minus 450 divided by 450, so that's 250 is 1 million minus 750 cumulative cash flow in year 3, so that's 3.56 years. For project Y you can see cumulative 2, so that's cumulative 2 in year 1, 2 plus 2 that's 4, 4 plus 3 7, 7 plus 6 is 13. You need to recover $1 million. So that means you need a payback period which is again between 3 and 4. So 3 plus, that is 1 million minus 7. So you need 300,000 excess in year 4 to be equal to 1 million. But year 4 you are generating a cash flow of 6 lakhs, so you don't need the whole of 4 year. So 300,000 divided by 6, you need only 0.5 year in 4th year. So your cash flow is 3.5 years. So that means while for project Y you are recovering cash flow which is cash outflow of 1 million in 3.5 years, you are recovering the same for project Y at 3.56 years. So in comparison to project X, project Y is slightly better. There is not much of a difference actually, but Y is clearly slightly better mathematically. So if the management need to take a decision regarding whether to invest in Y or invest in X, you need to choose Y because it's slightly better, even if mathematically there is not much of a difference. So payback period for Y is 3.5, payback period for X is 3.56. So this was project Y can recover in 3.5 years, whereas project X takes 3.56 years. So project Y is slightly better. Project Y shall be selected under payback period criteria. This means management needs to undertake an objective evaluation even if the method doesn't actually consider time value of money. There is no interest or opportunity cost which is being evaluated by the management. Still you are getting to decide whether project Y is better or X is better, and evidently project X is slightly on the low side and project X is definitely greater than X. So you need to invest in project Y. If both projects are not mutually exclusive, that means you can consider them both could be undertaken, but that depends. What are the advantages of payback period? It is quite easy, simple to understand, simple to calculate. Method is cost effective. It doesn't need specialist financial experts to calculate it. And Projects which has more cash flow in the initial years are generally favored by payback period, because a project which has higher cash flows in the initial years would have a lower PBP. So that's advantages. So this means if project X has higher cash flows in initial years and project Y has more cash flows in latter years, project X will be favored. But that's the way it is. How soon you can recover the capital invested. Limitations are that cash flows after the payback period, like we have calculated 3.5 and 3.56 for project Y and project X, we did not consider the cash flow in year 5. So this means cash flows which occur after payback period is not considered. The cash flow patterns are also ignored, because it depends how you generate the money quickly. So it is more favoring towards those projects which generate cash flows in the initial years. Thirdly, and greatly, it ignores time value of money. It doesn't consider the opportunity rate of interest available for such funds in the market. So this means you're not considering that you're spending $1 million on a project which will return you the money in 3.5 years, but you are not considering any interest cost. So potentially you're forgetting that there is an opportunity cost of everything. If you don't invest your $1 million in project X or project Y, you can invest in a fixed deposit, you can invest in a bond, you can invest it in a money market instrument. So ignoring time value of money doesn't make payback period a great method, but that's how it is. Critical evaluation of payback period. Payback period is a simple method, easy to understand, can be calculated by everybody. But the issue is that it has a direct relationship between the cash inflows and cash outflows. So it doesn't look at other things unnecessarily. It is simple, it is easy, and it is a method which is popular. But it is not a financial method. So it is a method which gives you an bird's eye view into whether the project should be considered. So once you consider that payback period is good, you can actually go into evaluating other methods. So it's a simple method which doesn't tell you much about financial evaluation. So that is why financial managers, even though they consider estimating a payback period for investors' betterment, they don't actually end up using it. So even if it is a good and simple method, it is not used and estimated for evaluating whether to invest in a project on the basis of payback period. So that's it for the first method on the non-discounting technology of capital budgeting. I hope you did understand. If you have any queries, you can send it to me through mail, through WhatsApp. Please subscribe to the channel. Also like the video if you want to. And I will come back very soon, probably tomorrow, with the most important method to consider. That's net present value method, which is a discounting technology. So that will take more time. You need to understand, because that forms basic of financial management. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much. Bye bye for today. Bye bye.